was a special win. I think the first thing I want to say is that, what a champion footy side, to win 7 in a row. It takes something special. It takes, you've got to understand the enormity of the challenge. Obviously going into every series, favourites, and trying to keep that winning streak going. It takes a lot of fortitude, it takes a lot of effort, attitude. It was fantastic commitment from the footy side. So we had to be all that tonight to win that game. So very proud of the boys and the way they went about the game tonight. And because of that effort, we're in there celebrating.
Is this why the Croc had such a long-range field goal?
Yeah, we was practicing it last night. We were talking about it before, So Smith just mentioned, I think he did for Melbourne last year as well. We got it last year. So he practices it. So he hit it sweet, and it was hitting sweet last night, and thankfully it was hitting sweet tonight.
Cameron, what's the furthest out you've seen him kick one at training or in the game?
Oh, I've seen him slot one quite a few actually, over halfway at training. But game situation is a lot harder. You're kicking under fatigue, you're kicking under pressure. But I was just talking to Mal about how he slotted one against Brisbane last year after the Anzac test, and I reckon it was almost on the same blade of grass. So but it's down to his training, his practice. He stayed back probably half hour last night, slotting field goals, and we all knew that it was going to be a tough, close game, and luckily, Coop slotted one there for us at the end.
You must have thought Greg Innes was there for a try there.
I was riding him in the coach's box. So how good is this? But took some fantastic defence from the Blues to stop it. But it's that's the game at the moment. That's how close the two footy sides are, and like I said before, it took something special tonight, Steve, to get that victory.
Did you always think they'd keep coming back?
Absolutely. Yeah, we always expect that, and that's the way we prepare. We don't get complacent. We don't get carried away. It's not part of our psyche to just clock off. We've got to keep working away, and we do that tonight.
Cameron, was this the toughest one out of the 7, mate, to win?
Yeah, the toughest series by far, I think. Andrew, the Blues have got a great side. They have had for a number of years, but I think this year they had a lot more belief in themselves. They had a lot more belief that they could come to any ground and knock us off, and it showed tonight that even coming up to Brisbane, playing on our home soil, that they prepared really well, and they were willing to play the 80 minutes out and ground a tough win. But I think what comes with probably the toughest win of the 7 is the pleasing aspect of it. I was so pleased that we're able to get a victory tonight. People say it would have been nice to win by 20, but one's enough, and we've got the shield in our dressing room at the moment, and I think the thing that just tops it off is sending Big Petro out a winner. A lot was said about Lockie's last game last year, and obviously he was our captain for a long time and done some great things for our team, but you got to talk about Petro in the same breath. He's been magnificent. He plays in the toughest position on the field, and every time he turns up, he plays with a lot of courage, and he plays his all every time.
How's it going? Where does that one sort of rate in all the Origins and internationals and finals and stuff you've played?
It's hard to recall every game that we've played because I've been lucky enough to play a few, but my recent memory, that's right up there. And I said in an interview after the match I was speaking to Lockie and saying the people that paid $130 to come to this match, they wouldn't have been disappointed. That was one of the best Origins, I reckon. It'll go down in history as one of the best Origins. It was so close, two great football sides. There was never really too much of a gap on the scoreboard, and it went right down the wire. That's what Origin football is about.
That roar in the final moments, and just throughout the night. I know it's always like a bit like that. Even under anything like that before, it's pretty amazing. It must have been deafening out there.
Yeah, look, it's the best place to play rugby league. I think everyone knows that. I think you ask the Blues players, they'll admit that as well. It's such a great feeling to run out there in front of your home fans and those who said hear that roar. It's what you dream of doing. And we're lucky enough to be doing it now and lifting that shield. It was just an amazing feeling. I've been able to do it once, but it was down in Sydney. I think there was about 300 people in the grandstand. But to have have so many people at home now, and to lift the trophy in front of fans that have been so supportive of us, over this seven years, and we're just so glad we got the job done for them.
Well, Petro played like he had a couple of years left in his legs tonight. You think it's fitting he capped off his Origin career with a game like that?
Absolutely. He's held such high regard with the team that I know at the back of their minds part of their motivation was and attitude was to get Petro across the line, and they do that for him, and he's a happy man next door, and that's one of his goals. He's set himself this year is to go out and win at Origin level. So he deserves it. Everyone knows that. Everyone understands that in the game, not only for the team, but he's been a great role model for the game in general.
Cam, special moment when you pulled him up there with you.
Yeah, it was Ben. He's he's been sort of like a dad to this side. Not
Not
trying.
grandfather, obviously.
Yeah, not trying to point out his age too much, but he was one of the senior players that was a part of this side when myself and Jonathan joined the team, and Billy, Ash Harris and Nate Miles, we were just kids, and he was the guy that we watched on TV, and he was our idol, So I think it was just fitting to get him up. Like Mao said, he's not only respected by our side, he's respected by everyone in the game. He's a gentleman on and off the field, and he always gives his all for whatever team he's playing for. So I thought he deserved that accolade at the end there, and he deserved that round of applause from the crowd.
Now, of all the incidents, Hydro's try.
Great try, wasn't it?
Any question about it?
I mean, obviously, there was, the video thought about the interference, but I think Benny Hanna went through the line, didn't impede really, and Hodjo, there's another man above, outside that in regard. So I mean, I thought it was a fair decision.
Mal, how big was Nate Miles from this series?
He's had a tremendous series. Got the man of the match in the first game. I think got the man of the match tonight. I'm pretty. JT did. Okay, so Nate would have been close. He's been an extraordinary player. As been said for the last 7 years, been part of such a successful run. And the same with Jonathan. He was very good today.
Has he lifted the game this year?
That's what we expect from Nate. You watch his games in the preceding 6 years. That's what you get. That's what he does. Every game he plays in, and he holds up the middle really, really well. He's competitive, he's aggressive, and people don't like running at him, and he just keeps on turning up. And when there's a tough run to be made, he makes it. So there's a break, and he's chasing back and trying to cover the defend. He's an extraordinary player, and I keep on saying that he's built for Origin footy. He loves it, and the players love playing with him, which is even a better accolade for him.
What about Jonathan?
Yeah, well, he was extraordinary too. I thought, without singling players out, JT wasn't happy with his game in game two, and went back to the club and played really, really well for the Cowboys, and got back on the front foot again. And you could see with his preparation all week that he was ready to go. He wanted to play. He wanted to sort of make his mark on the game as a six in particular, and I think he did that tonight.
And what did you say after that explosive start? When Taddy almost got one on the chin from Paul Gallen, you have to talk to the players about that.
No, the boys are fairly calm, Steve. We knew both sides. We knew they were going to start aggressive, and we need to be aggressive as well. I thought that we were outmatched in the first two games with aggression. But I thought the boys, we didn't take a backward step tonight. We're playing on our home turf in front of our home crowd, and we weren't going to get pushed around. And boys have got great composure. I think that showed tonight. There was a couple of times where things blew up a little bit, but we're about playing footy. We're not about trying to put the other team off with niggling tactics or anything like that. We're just about playing to our game plan, and that's why we come away with the victory.
It's a pretty special try from Josh Morris. Was there any doubt in your mind that you really lift them?
No, I think going back to what Mao said earlier, we always knew that they were going to fight to the end, and it took a special effort by Josh Morris to get that ball down. It's pretty extraordinary. He showed great skill to get it down, and he's a special player, and they got great talent in their whole side. But you know, we never thought, well, we'll just get ahead by 2 or 4 points and that'll be game over. We knew they were going to come back. They've showed that all series that they'll play the 80 minutes out. But we'll better by 1 point tonight.
Well, Ben Teo seemed to give it an extra gear in that last quarter.
Yeah,
Pretty impressive in his debut.
Yeah, I was very impressed with Ben. You know, he got up the pace of the game really well. He did a bit tough there about 10 minutes into his stint, but kept on plugging away and he got through really well. I was very pleased and impressed with his efforts and carting the ball forward and defensively. He did a job for us tonight and I was very pleased for him.
Thanks, Tim.
Coming during the 2000 big league.